Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl LT here, back with another video. So this week's going to be a compilation of the TikTok videos regarding why people are opting out of having children. So you guys seem to really enjoy those type of videos. So I figured this week is going to be all about why people are not having kids. So I'm going to go ahead and put the TikTok compilations together, and just let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And just like always, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much once again for getting me for over 4,000 subscribers. And thank you guys so much again, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Yesterday, I made a video saying that I don't want kids. I know that's kind of a hot take, so I wanted to give more explanation for the reasons why I don't want to have kids. And I can break it down into two parts. The first part is the external factors that's going on. And then the second part is internal factors, aka my personal preferences. So when it comes to the external factors, I'm able to look at the world for what it is, and I can realize that this is not the environment that I want to raise a child in. Let's take, for example, the first thing that comes to my mind is school shootings, unfortunately. The fact that I think one happens a day, or maybe there's like a shooting a day. The fact that there's a shooting a day is insane, like a mass shooting. I don't want to raise a child in that, because I couldn't bear losing a child. And I'm not making this decision out of fear. I'm just saying that, statistically speaking, that's too common. That's too common for me to want to have a child. And then another reason is our government. Our government's not doing anything about that fact alone, let alone taking care of the people that they're governing. They don't really care about us, right? They don't care about the fact that the economy is terrible. They don't care about the fact that we're polluting our world, that climate change is a real deal. And we're not having to deal with the direct consequences of climate change, but our children and our children's children will deal with that. And that's not fair to them. I think it's kind of irresponsible on my part to bring in a child knowing that they have to deal with all of that, and we're not making the proper, decisions to help them. If we were making, advances towards fixing climate change, and we were making legislation to kind of help parents be good parents, because it takes a village to raise a child. You can't do it by yourself. Like, you need family members, you need support. It's hard to do it by yourself. And I want to give kudos real fast to single parents out there, because that's a feat in and of itself. And then there are other factors, such as my internal factors, my personal reasons why I don't want to have kids, right? I just don't want to make the sacrifices that are necessary to have kids. And to be honest, let me go back real fast. I think we, as a society, we have a collective duty to make the world a better place, right? And the reason why we have to make the world a better place is for the next generation. It's our duty collectively, individually, whatever you want to say, to make sure that the next generation has more than we ever did, right? And I don't think we're doing that. And I just don't want to have a child in that kind of environment. Now, my personal reasons, I just don't want to have to make that sacrifice to have kids. I can recognize that being a parent requires a lot of sacrifice, and I don't want to do that, right? And I can see the beauty of fatherhood. I see like videos on TikTok all the time of dads playing catch with their son, or taking their daughter to ride a bike and play and get ice cream and all that fun stuff. But that's the positive side of fatherhood. No one ever talks about the downsides, or the negativity, or the challenges behind being a father or being a parent in general, right? Because people like to make it seem like it's all sunshine and rainbows, and I'm not buying that. I'm not falling for that propaganda, right? And I can really understand the severity of what it means to raise a child, because a lot of it is on you. If anything happens to that child, it's on you. And I just don't want to have to deal with that. I'd rather it just be me and my partner. And people ask me a lot, like, aren't you afraid of being lonely when you grow up? Like, who's going to take care of you when you're older? And I don't think you should be having kids with the sole intention of them taking care of you when you're older, because I want to take care of myself when I'm older. Like, I go to the gym, I eat right, I drink a lot of water, and I don't really drink that much alcohol. Like, I'm trying my best right now to take care of myself, so that way no one needs to take care of me in the future, right? And someone also asked me, like, what if you meet the love of your life and she wants to have kids? Well, I'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I also think the love of my life doesn't want to have kids. I think and I hope that we just want it to be where it's just the two of us, and we can take care of each other and live a long, happy life. But what do I know? I'm 27. Feel free to change my mind in the comments. Let me know what you guys think as well, because I want to have a conversation about this. So if you stay this long, thank you so much for listening to me yap for like 4 minutes. I appreciate you. And have a great day.
When I get asked why I don't want children, and the biggest response I get is, you're going to regret it when you're older. Who's going to take care of you when you're old? You're going to end up alone with cats. Most women are living like single moms, and they have husbands. And I just don't want that to be me. Even if you find the most loving man on planet Earth, there is always a chance that you could end up a single mom. And I just don't think that the risk is worth it for me. On top of that, having a mental illness, I don't know if I would make a good mother. I'm sure if I had one child and one child only, I would figure it out and make it through. I can't afford them. I can't afford kids. And so unless I magically have money that falls into my lap, it's just like people are like, you know, running out of time because you're in your late 20s, you're almost 30. In this economy, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to live like a single mom. I like my freedom. I like waking up at whatever time. I like that my money is for me. Unless my spouse could afford to supplement that and like help me out, I just don't think I would do it. And even then, I only think I would have one kid. I don't even think I would have more than one. I don't think my mind's gonna change about this. A lot of people are like, you'll change your mind when you meet the right guy. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm 29 and I am like very positive, almost 100% positive that I do not want children. And here's why I know that. When I think about the childbearing and childbirth process, I have this very unsettling, nauseating, sick feeling inside of me that is so overwhelming that I think, how could that not be a sign? Like, there are no feelings of like, oh, that could be nice. That doesn't ever cross my mind. In fact, the only thing about bearing children, having children to me that seems nice is the fact that I would make other people happy, like my mom, like my boyfriend's mom. And maybe when the child is 23, 24, 25, I would enjoy their company. That, like, I like the idea of like when I'm older having a family because I love my family dynamic. I have 2 sisters and my parents are still together and I love hanging out with all of them together. It is so much fun. So I like that idea, but obviously you can't just like hop straight into that. There's a lot that comes first. Then, of course, after you're done giving birth, the child is now earthside present in your life. And I just, as of right now, and in the next 2-3 years, I cannot see myself being in a stable position to be caring for another human. I had a nightmare about having a dog the other day. As in, like, I had to miss out on a social event because I agreed to stay home and take care of the dog. And in the end of the dream, I ended up being like, actually, this isn't worth it. I'm going out. And I just left the dog at home. So if that's not a huge sign that I am neither ready for a pet, let alone a child, so yeah. You also need money, like finances, to care for a child, and right now that's not in my budget. I think in the next 3 years, if I had excessive budget, if I had some room in the budget, we would be going to Europe multiple times. That is top my priority. That is at the top. And I'm just not willing to move my timeline to like make room for a child. Like, I want to travel. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be caring for a child at home. And also something huge, like me saying, oh, I don't feel like I want to change XYZ for a child. Like, oh, spoiler alert, you actually don't. No one has to have a kid, which is like kind of crazy because I feel like we are raised to, everything we're taught is like, okay, eventually you're gonna have a kid one day and you're gonna have a family and you're gonna raise it and that's how life is gonna go for you. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I feel like it takes a second to actually unlearn the fact that you don't need to be bearing children / raising a family. So I think the older I get, the more I actually realize, okay, like, that's not a default. That's not like thing that I must do, like get a job. I have to get a job, unfortunately, because I need to make money, but having a child is not something that I have to do. That's a fun realization. And once I realize that, I feel like the pressure is off. I go to bed peacefully at night. Things feel generally lighter. So all of this being said, like, the biggest indicator for me is the gut feelings I get when I think about getting pregnant, having a child, giving birth. Being pregnant it scares the shiz out of me. No, thank you. So those are my reasons.
There are multiple reasons why I do not want children, but one of the main ones for me is if I do not have the time, energy, or money to provide my kid with a quality homeschool education, then I am not having them. Argue with your mama. You can tell me, oh, you're taking away the opportunity to socialize, blah, blah. Fuck them kids. Fuck them other kids. The people who enjoyed high school are a different breed. And I'm not trying to have my kid break their neck trying to fit into a status quo that's actually dog shit. That and the education system's just shitty. Like, I got all these books on my shelf that I need to read so I can re-educate myself over bullshit that I learned in school / college. I will say that college taught me a little bit more, but at the same time, it didn't teach me everything I needed or wanted to know. I am 80 to 90% sure that most history textbooks are fabricated so we don't start a fucking uprising in this country. I'm in my 20s right now, just figured out we had a black heritage flag, like where'd that come from? The real reason why slavery was abolished. Most math is fucking useless. And if your way of getting the answer, the formula is a different way than a teacher does it, then you're automatically fail. We don't really teach kids how to pick up a craft anymore because they got defunded. Most science teachers can't teach. Like, you go into a classroom and they're like, I'm going to be honest right now, most people fail my class, and they say that like a flex. Like, that just shows how bad you are at your job. Sorry. Teachers are underfunded, and I promise you there's like 30-40% of them who don't even want to be there because either they're not teaching the subjects that they want to teach or they just hate children. And let's be honest, the school system does not give a shit about stop bullying. They only care when the bully person finally sticks up for themselves and starts a commotion. Like, it's fine when the bullying's one-sided, but as soon as two kids fighting, then suddenly it's a problem. And I don't know if y'all saw these videos, but if we can finally start being honest about how a lot of nurses are just rude and mean and former high school bullies, can we start saying the same thing about teachers? And no disrespect to my men teachers who are really trying to educate these children out here, but in my high school experience, I can understand why people are a little hesitant to having men teachers in the field. Y'all know how many cases I heard about? And since toxic masculinity is still an issue in our society, I feel like that a lot of men need to learn that shit before they're trusted to be around children. All love and all respect towards my teachers out here who are really trying to make a brighter future for these kids, but the American education system is overall a joke. And I'm pretty sure it's a capitalist strategy to make these kids as unprepared for the future as possible. They don't want educated children because educated children make educated adults. Education and knowledge is a threat to capitalism. At least education amongst the masses, not just privileged, rich, palm-colored children.
What made me make that choice? Honestly, maybe because I'm such an observant person and I was an observant child. I kind of would watch my mom be a mom, and she was an amazing mom, or is an amazing mom. But she was always running around, like getting us ready for school, then having to pick us up. She was running back to come pick us up, and she would work long hours. And so I think the cutoff time at school for pickup, because we would be in an after school program, was 6:00, and we would be one of the last ones to get picked up. And she was running to come and get us. And then the minute she would come and get us, she would run back to the house and then run straight to make dinner. Like, that was like the first thing that she did, was like drop her things, wash her hands, get straight to dinner. And she would make 2 meals, one for that evening and one for the next day, to save herself some time the next day. And it was always like go. Then we have to like get ourselves ready for bed, and then you do it all over again the next day. And just waking up extra early because you need to make sure your kids get to school on time, or even earlier, so that you're able to make it to work on time. And just like, she always put us before her. Like, it was always like she put everything like that had to do with us before herself, which is now she's like thriving in her 50s because we're like adults, and she doesn't have to worry about us. But I think that's when I was like, yeah, this is not for me. And it's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, it's because you grew up with a single mom. And I'm like, maybe, but I also have a sister who grew up with a single mom, and my sister has always wanted to be a mom. So I just think that it's just, I was more aware of how hard it is as a kid. I was aware of like the struggle of, not even the struggle, but just like putting your kids first and like doing everything for your kids. Like financially, like everything goes to your children, and you have to work your schedule around your child's schedule. It's not just you. Like, you can't be selfish. You have to put your kids first. At least good parents will put their kids first. And I was like, yeah, I'll pass on that. I'll pass on that. So I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that my mom was a single mom. Because again, my sister has always wanted to be a mom, and she has a different mindset on that. I was just very aware as a kid.
And as much as I do want to have kids and have a little mini me or mini me's running around, I'm not having no kids. I'm not bringing no kids into this fucking ghetto ass world that we living in right now. That would be selfish. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Anybody right now that's getting pregnant and having fucking kids, y'all, is selfish. Because why the fuck would you even want to bring a person into this shit? Like, no. No. Like, if y'all kids hate y'all when they grow up, it'll be rightfully so. Because this shit is gay.
The age-old question on how I could know I don't want kids when I've never felt the bond of having my own child. This is asked in good faith, and I think it's a great moment to educate. First, I actually like other people's kids. I didn't decide not to have kids because I don't like them. I don't need to have my own child to know that I like kids. So I don't want the physical labor associated with having a child, like me giving birth as in labor, but also the lifestyle that needs to happen to have children. I recognize and appreciate that there's an unbelievable love that I don't know that you have when you have a child. And I made that trade-off because there's enough cons, in my opinion, associated with having children that I don't want to deal with. Like, I don't want to go to mommy and me classes. I don't want to give birth. I don't want to risk my body going up for that. I don't want to go to pay for daycare. I don't want to have to do the daycare circuit every day. I don't want to have to deal with sending them to college. I don't want to risk or deal with them perhaps having a lot of issues as a adult. I don't want to have to spend my time outside of work caring for them. There is a lot of emotional labor I'm not even getting into, but just the physical labor alone is enough for me not to want to do it. And I would do it if I somehow got pregnant, like when I was much younger. I'm sure I would have like kept the baby and like done it. Would I choose it though consciously? No. And that is how I know I don't want kids. I think I'd be a good parent and I'd step up to the challenge if I had a kid, but I don't want a kid. And it's that simple. Like, it's that simple when I look at it just logically from my own perspective. Very much do not want kids, and I'm okay with that trade-off of never knowing what some people tend to call the greatest love ever, and I'm assuming you are in that camp, and that's perfectly fine, but I'm very happy with the love my husband and I have for each other, love for my siblings, friends, everyone else in my community, and I just don't need a kid to fulfill that, and that's how I know.
Do you and I live on the same planet? The one where having kids is the norm and becoming a parent is the next expected step after marriage? The same dusty, crusty flying rock with gender reveals, baby showers, and big blowout birthday parties that parents throw for their kids every year? The same society where we drill into little girls from early childhood that becoming a mother is the greatest thing that you will ever accomplish in life? The same planet with hashtag girl mom, boy mom, and mama bears, where parents are excited about the idea of having a little mini-me. The same world where parents get to get on social media and share every life moment that their child experiences. Do you live somewhere else? Because that's the only way where this silly, goofy little comment would even begin to make sense. Or are you suggesting that parents are the only ones that get to share about their lives on social media? Child-free people can't share about their lives too, about their preferences too. I will never stop talking about or sticking up for the child-free lifestyle, because being child-free is not the norm. It is not socially acceptable. And specifically women are made to feel less than if, God forbid, we buck the norm and decide not to have children. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being excited about being a parent and sharing that with the world. So why then is the same grace and acceptance not afforded to child-free folks? I don't cease to exist as a person just because I don't have kids. Okay, I have a life. I grew up thinking that one day I was gonna become a parent because that's what you do. You grow up, you go to college, you get married, you have kids. That is the societal norm. That is what you are expected to do. And I wish that when I was younger, I heard women and people capable of having children sharing about different paths than motherhood and parenthood. Sharing that you can have a fulfilling and wonderful life without kids. That having kids is just one of the many options that you have in this life. And if we're gonna be really honest with each other, I think parents that think like this are just envious that they didn't see the other path. This is why it's so important that we do talk about it. We need a society where people want to be parents, but not everyone is suited to be a parent, and that's okay too. And until being child-free is a societal norm that is widely accepted, I'm not shutting up about it. I have every right to share about my life as a child-free by choice person, just as parents have the right to share about their lives with kids. Class dismissed.